What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Adrian here from Major Mateo Drones. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great weekend. I know I am. Pretty tired, yet pretty excited. Whoo! I noticed that the chat is already light up. It's lit up. Got quite a few people here already in the chat. Thank you guys for the love and support. I really appreciate it. Thank you from the heart. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and bring my friend, my boy, Mr. Draymond Crawford, aka Recovery One Drone, in the hizzy. How you doing,
Hey,
partner?
how's it going? Good, good. How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good, sir. Talk to me, man. How you like the light in the back?
I love it. I love it.
Live on
So
air.
we
I
are
think
we
it's a
are
pretty
live on air.
live on air. Hey, we're live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are live.
So how's your day going, partner?
Not too bad. Kind of took it slow today. Had to go visit the dentist yesterday, and so I've been taking it easy today. Yank out some more of my teeth and stuff, and put a cap on another one. And he messed
Okay.
up my top partial, so it's all loose. So if I'm talking and half my mouth falls out, you know what it is.
I 10 for and if it does, you make sure you go ahead and stop the camera or something like that because people might laugh at you.
That's okay.
Well, we do have the chat that's actually lit up pretty good. So let me just go ahead and welcome a few folks here in the house. We got Mr. Blind Neil. How you doing, Blind Neil? Thank you for popping in. He said he's number one.
Hey,
Thank you, sir.
Neil.
We got Mr. Jody Drone Shots. We got
Yeah,
Mr.
Jody.
Gary, Mr. Brian Ariel. Thank you for popping in. Hey, we got Mr. Jan Carol, JC Flying. I actually got a chance to meet him at the drone meetup. Second time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Drones, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. We also got, let's see who else we missing here. I think that's pretty much everybody that's talked so far in the chat. Thank you for popping in.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. Um, let's see here. Hey, Mr. Johnny Drone Flyer, thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate the love and support. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And he said, Adrian, you need a light on you. Can hardly see you. You know what? Let me go ahead and bring my ring light. Let me see how that's gonna work. Hopefully, it doesn't drawn out the light in the back. What do you think, Dre? You think it's gonna mess it up?
I don't know if you need a light directly on your face or maybe something over the top of your head that doesn't shine behind you. That should still work.
Well, we'll try this real quick. Let me see if the ring light gonna work or not. It might. I just hope that it doesn't mess up the.
Let me see what we got going
There you go. Well, it's still good. All right, we on.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, and now it looks better. The live on air. I think that light went ahead and give it a little shine. What do you think?
Oh, well, sit down. Be still first.
Hey, Mr. David Lorenzo, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. Matty, Mr. Matty Drone World, thank you for popping in, buddy. And we got Ray of Sunshine. Greetings. How you doing, buddy? We got a new person in the house. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate that. Or is
Hey,
that
Ray.
somebody
Yeah,
that we already know? Somebody just changed their name.
well, no, he's been around a few places. I know he hangs out in a Mikey show. He's a big fan of Mikey's.
Okay. Well, thank you for popping in, buddy. I think this is his first time being on my show. Thank you for the love and
Mm-hmm.
support. I really appreciate that. Hey, Mighty Jordan, well, I did want to ahead and send you a link on your email if you want to go ahead and come on the panel. I really appreciate that. So, Dre, the all the fuzz is actually on this damn avatar, like I like to call drone. People call it Avata or the Avata, whatever the hell it
Avada.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would call it an avatar freaking drone because it literally looks like the avatar helicopter from that movie Avatar. But
Yeah.
hey, Susan Lee, how you doing, my lady? Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I think the signal seems to be doing all right, Dre. How am I coming out? Is it coming out pretty clear or fuzzy or messed up?
Yeah. No, you're not doing too bad. Mine's blinking in and out. I don't know what's going on with it. I think mine's
Yeah, I
having
did
some
notice that
issues.
for a quick second you were looking gray or what's not, but now it seems to
Yeah.
be clear.
Yeah. If it keeps on doing, I'll switch to the other camera if it keeps on doing that.
Info. Well, Ray of Sunshine, you just went ahead and got yourself a Blue Ranch, my friend. Now you're a moderator. Welcome to the show. I really appreciate that. We got Mr. Leonard, GSK Enterprise. Thank you for popping in, sir. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the love and support. Hey, guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate that. So, Dre, how is that M30T treating you so far? Were you able to go ahead and do a mapping job with it? Like, did everything work all right?
Yeah, I went ahead. I wanted to do it out at a construction site, but I couldn't get enough satellites. And as usual, it wasn't the satellite issue; it was operator error issue. So when I got back home, I was having the same thing. So I had to go back and retrace my steps and get the satellites clear. And I went ahead and did the solar farm not far from my house. But a solar farm is kind of tricky because what happens is when you process the shots, uh, it has a hard time in the mapping part because all the designs in the panels itself kind of throws the camera off, trying to
Yeah.
line everything up. So I'm gonna take it out hopefully this next Friday or so. I think on the 26th I'm gonna take it out and do a regular terrain mapping site. I got another housing tract over in Riverside County, California, and I'll try it out there and see how it lines up the shots from there and see how it comes out. But I mean, the individual shots themselves were fine. It was the stitching software that had the issue. So it wasn't that the camera was a problem or the drone itself was a problem. It was the stitching software that was the issue. I used Web ODM for this. I even tried the Microsoft ICE program. It was horrible in that. The Web ODM did a decent job, but I'm sure there's other software that are a little more detailed that could probably push through some of the issues, especially doing solar. So we'll find out.
Okay. 10-4, 10-4. Well, we got a couple more people that popped in. We got Mr. Matt Bagwell, Atlantic Aerials. We also have Mr. Bob Casey, Ariel, who said that he's actually driving from his drone meetup that he actually had today
Yeah.
in Minefield.
Yeah.
Sounds like they actually had a great time. He sent me some pictures of what's not. We got Mr. Mike from Fly Zone Drone. Thank you, buddy, for popping in. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the love and support. So we actually got 18 people watching so far. Might go ahead and have some more people later on. Thank you, everybody, again for popping in. Um, so some people have been saying, Dre, that the M30T doesn't really do a good job when it comes to the mapping. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, it seems to be a very capable drone, but people are saying that it's mainly just for search and rescue. It's not really made
Yeah.
to do anything like what you do, for a living with your drones. Hey, Mr. 107 Drones, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. I really
Well,
appreciate
to address that, that's why I'm doing the mapping test myself because mostly people say it's not good for mapping, don't own the drone. So, like I said, I own the drone. I'm going to have to use this drone. So I'm going to push it to its limits and find out what it can and can't do. So,
Okay.
I mean, I hear people say it's not built particularly for mapping itself. Most of the drones out there, except for the Phantom 4 Pro, is not made for mapping.
Yes, sir.
Unless you go up to a 210, 200 M300, which has a certain amount of camera payloads you can put on there that are designed for photogrammetry work. So, but people are out there using Mavic 2 Pros. Some people are even trying to use the Air 2S and some
Yeah.
other drones getting mapping type work done. So, It's just a matter of just seeing what the drone can do. And my thing is, when it comes to photogrammetry work, it's not so much of the drone particular. Because this drone can follow a mapping grid.
Yeah.
I've already shown that. That's not a problem there. It's about stitching the photos together, and that deals with the software. And I could say, mapping started with the Phantom 3 series. So I know that the Phantom 3 series can do it with its old 4K 12 megapixel camera. I'm sure this drone can do the same.
Yeah.
Because the camera specs are kind of similar. So it's just a matter of just using it. And I hope DJI will allow us to use the 48 megapixel camera, which is a zoom camera on it, and have that do the mapping, because I think that would be a big help for it, that you're able to use the 40 megapixel camera instead of the 12 megapixel camera. So I think that'll be the difference right there. We're able to use that zoom lens, and we can push it back out to about maybe only about 2 times. That might be the difference right there overall.
I hear you. Now,
Yep.
yesterday I was actually pretty excited to actually have met a gentleman while I was actually working when I went to service some customers. Actually, a commercial site that I had to go and check is actually a biomass plant where they actually burn the wood chips and they find it into like powdered sugar and pretty much create electricity. And I was actually able to meet this guy that was actually flying a drone doing a mapping job or inspection, I would say. Hey, little Lama Laura, how
Mhm.
you doing? Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. Um, After I got to talking to him for a little bit, the drone was actually doing a pretty good job, just following, whatever mission they were supposed to do.
Right.
Hey, Chris, NB Drones, thank you for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate it. Now, I noticed he pretty much had the remote in his hand. Now,
Mm-hmm.
from looking at it, Dre, hey, Trouble Take through 60, thank you for popping in. It literally looked like a shape like a Xbox remote. So I automatically say, wait a minute, what drone do I know that have that kind of remote? But there's
Right.
actually several because I believe that the Autel Nano series, the remote kind of looked like it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It also kind of shaped like my DJI FPV drone as well. Now I didn't
Right.
see the drone at first. I
Uh-huh.
just kind of saw him flying, and then I noticed, the lettering on his truck that says something UAV and the name of the business. Um,
Right.
so after I got to talking to him, I finally saw the drone. Now the way the drone was shaped, I kind of automatically knew that it was a Scadio. So I asked him, "Hey,
Right.
is that the Scadio 2?" He said, "Actually, that's the Scadio 2 Plus, which means it's the one that have the little pop-up antennas. You know what I mean on top.
Right.
That would be the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
difference. And I guess it's a little more updated than the other one."
Uh-huh.
So again, he was just keeping a visual line of sight on the drone while it did its thing. But then I got to thinking, like, is that drone actually? I didn't know that drone was actually capable of doing that kind of work, because people just make it sound like
Yes.
that is only mainly just for high speed, stuff. When like a GoPro, biking, racing, or just high speed movement. I didn't know that you could actually use that one to do that
No,
kind of job.
the Skydio has the ability, because it has a 4K camera on it, and I believe it's if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 18 megapixel camera. I could be off on that. It could be 20, but I think it's at least an 18 megapixel camera on that thing, and it is listed in Drone Deploy as one of the cameras that is most like can be used. I mean, DJI drones are most often listed, but I have seen on a couple of KML files that I've been sent that the Skydio 2 has been listed as one of the drones that have been approved to fly this type of mission. So yeah, the
Yeah,
Skydio 2 has made its way onto the list of drones to use in this type of work. And with the sensors that it has on it, it's not a real bad choice. Like I said, because when you fly in programs like Pix4D, Drone Deploy, and several other third-party drones, even Litchi, it will ask you, do you want all the sensors on? And you can
yeah,
always have that slider on, to make sure all the sensors are on all the time. So with the amount of sensor support that the Skydio has, it's not a bad choice. Not a bad choice at all.
Okay. Let me go ahead and welcome Mr. West Michigan Ariel. Hey, my friend, thank you for popping in. Really appreciate the love and support. Yeah, but then again, Dre, I was under the impression once again that it just wasn't a good drone for that. But then again, after talking to him for a few minutes
No,
and like watching the drone do its thing, it's actually pretty
right,
capable of doing a lot more. So I guess that was
right,
my mistake. Because again, all the hype was basically like if you fly the drone, you have the little beacon, you know what I mean, in your pocket or on your person, it would just follow you, you know what I mean, and just do all type of nice, you know what I mean, move.
right,
Because they actually advertise it like it's a drone that it will be impossible for you to crash. Because they always look for a path, you know what I mean, to fly, then
right.
avoid
Yeah.
everything, which that's actually a
Well,
buzz because I've seen some people that have actually crashed that drone before.
yeah. Well, the biggest knocks I've seen was the distance limitations, and that was with the I guess the first version that came out. Now he had the 2 plus with the
Yeah,
antenna, so I have not heard too much, or I haven't even been looking per se too much on reviews on the plus to see if that has it been corrected. I just imagine with that antenna that it must be able to get a little more distance connection wise, so it could be very capable of fulfilling maybe a larger site and not lose connection. And that was the whole purpose with the beacon and everything else to do the follow me mode stuff. So you had the beacon in your pocket. The drone was only about maybe 20, 30 feet above you, trailing behind you, something like that, or whatever you had to do. Uh, so that beacon, it was an added type of connection device. Now for
yeah,
autonomous flights, now I can just say that like for autonomous flights, just like the older, I would say, legacy DJI drones, like the Phantom series and the Mavic 2 Pro, when you upload the mission, it goes into the drone. Okay,
yes. That's what he told
so
me.
right, it goes into the drone. Now, that might be the same way with the Skydio, where the whole mission is gone as low uploaded into the drone. So regardless of connection issues, the drone will most likely finish the mission if you have it set that way.
Yeah,
It will finish the mission and then return home. Some people prefer for it to return to home if it loses connection or whatever. Some have it set to complete the mission, depending on the software that you're using. So he may have that option on there where connection may not be a real problem if you tell it to complete the mission. And see what happens.
I can see a couple of new people here. We got Mr. Chris Hope. We also
He ain't
have
new.
Mr. Night Train. Um, thank you for being here, Big Mike. We also got, I just seen him, Yellow Rose Drones. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate that. We have who else that I did not say hi to? Sergio from Fly Zone Drones, Mike from Fly Zone Drones. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the love and support. We have like 24 people watching now. Thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate it. Make sure you go ahead and smash the thumbs up on the stream. Thank you for the love and support. Fly Guy Merrill 399.9. Thank you, sir, for being here. Um, so Dre, when it comes to your Part 107 jobs, do you is your Phantom series your go-to drones, or do you also use the Mavic 2 Pro as well? This just the same, or do you normally just pick up the Phantom and just get the job done with that one?
Sometimes I mix it up. I mean, I do the photogrammetry part with the Phantoms pretty much exclusively, but if I have to do a orbit or do other still shots, I may pick up the Mavic 2 Pro and use that for those things. The Mavic 2 Pro does a great job with orbits and a great job with the still shots. I mean,
Yeah,
not and I use that not to say that the Phantom can't do it. The Phantom does an excellent. I could use a Phantom for all 3 levels, but I'm saying just trying to minimize the wear and tear on any of my drones. I'll split the workload.
yeah,
So that way I'm not using as many batteries or stressing batteries out. I just put up another drone and let it fly. So basically, I might go out and use maybe 2 to 3 batteries on the Phantom, and I only have to use 1 or 2 batteries on the Pro 2.
Yes,
I
sir.
should say 2 Pro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Mr. John, Mr. Flying Flame Media, thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Nah, Flying Flame, we literally just got here only about 20 minutes ago. So you're still pretty early for the party. Thank you for popping in, sir. Dre, when it comes to your Mavic 2, is it the Mavic 2 Pro Enterprise? That's the one, right?
No, I'll use the regular Mavic 2
No, I know.
Pro.
I'm just saying that Enterprise is considered the Mavic 2 Pro Enterprise.
Yeah, that is the official full name. They shorten it to Mavic Enterprise Advance. The one I
Okay,
have
Mavic Enterprise
has
Advanced.
the
Okay,
yeah.
now when you first bought that one, did that one came with the standard remote, or did it also came with a smart controller?
It came with a smart controller.
Just like the first generation one.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
first generation smart controller.
so now you have two then, two smart controllers.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
one with the Mavic 2 Pro, and I have another one for the Enterprise Advance.
okay. Now when it comes to your Phantom series drones that you have,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, they're on the Light Bridge, not AccuSync 2.
Yeah, the ones I have, which is the Obsidian ones, which are I guess there's an in between because you have the Phantom Standards, and then you have the Phantom 4 Pros, and then the Obsidians were kind of like a special class, and then you had the Pro Plus, and the Pro Plus was when they first introduced the screen, the built-in screen on the controllers, and then when the version 2, which you have, came out, it was almost like a standard that you got the built-in screen, but some people
Yeah,
didn't want it, so they still sold the V2 model with the standard remote if you didn't want the screen, because
correct,
the
correct,
screen it limits you as far as using third-party software, because you cannot
correct,
upload any third-party software to that Phantom V2 controller. It won't take nothing. So that was always the
correct.
downside of that.
Let me go ahead and welcome a few more folks. We got Mr. Bob Knox Lowe's RX. Thank you for popping in. We got Mr. Hugo Vista Area. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate that. Did I miss anybody else? I think I've covered everybody else so far. Okay.
Okay.
So but the Light Bridge. So what would be the difference between the Light Bridge and AccuSync 2?
Well, let's just put this out in layman terms, okay? From Lightbridge, OcuSync 1, 2, 3, it's all Wi-Fi. Okay, all of it's a high-tech Wi-Fi signal, is all it is. And just like with the original old Phantoms 1, 2, whatever, it was strictly low-grade Wi-Fi. And then you got this Lightbridge, which was enhanced Wi-Fi, and now they call the later versions OcuSync 1, 2, and 3 are just basic enhanced Wi-Fi signals. And the
Yeah,
reason why you can always vouch for that, because they still work off 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz
correct.
transmissions. Okay, so it's just a isolated signal system that DJI has developed for their drones,
Okay.
and they give it these names, OcuSync 1, 2, and 3, and Lightbridge, and like I told people, my Lightbridge drones, the two Obsidians I have, get better connection over distance than any of my OcuSync drones, and that
Oh,
could be
really?
simply because,
Okay.
and that's simply because could be the controller issues, because we all know that the smart controller has a limited range. I mean, it's not
Correct.
bad, but usually around, you get about 2,500, 3,000 feet out, you can start to lose a little bit of signal with the
Correct.
smart
But
controllers.
correct. And you know what? I've noticed that also while flying my Mavic 2 Pro, my Mavic Zoom 2 with
Mm-hmm.
the smart controller, that at around that range, it does start
Right.
getting sketchy and it start losing signal. But when I use the standard remote, it's completely perfect. Like the signal is like
Right,
boosted just like that.
right, right. So that's why I'm saying that, and actually I can go back to, I think, I discussed this before, that I can go back to my Phantom 3 Pro, and I have got the longest range on that drone that I have any other drone I own. And like I said, that's just basic Wi-Fi, enhanced Wi-Fi, Lightbridge 1, I think it is, on the Phantom 3 Pro, so to speak of. So, and like I said, that all depends upon the area you live in, the terrain you're flying over, where you're at when you're flying. And this is why I always tell people, when you go out flying, try to find a good AGL takeoff point. In other words, you want to be higher than the terrain you're flying off of. I should say flying over is a big thing. You don't want to be flying uphill. And I always
Yeah.
try to tell people, when they taught us that stuff in school about the earth being curved, it is 100% true when it comes to flying, because you can fly what you may perceive as a flat area and fly where you're standing at in one direction and only get so far. But if you go down to the other direction where you went to and fly back the other way, you might get anywhere a third more to even double the distance that you
Yeah.
got. And it's basically because the earth is round, and like I say, the terrain is not as flat as it may appear to your naked eye, but it gradually may slope off, which means you're getting better connection. And actually, you may actually be at a higher elevation. Like, say, where my house is at, I'm roughly around 1,000 and some change above sea level.
Yes.
If I go up to the top of the wash, which is Glen Helen Park, that's roughly around 1,100 feet above sea level. So just that may be 200 or 300 feet difference, even though it looks flat. To the naked eye, it looks flat. From
Yeah.
my house to all the way down there, it's about 6 miles away, and it looks fairly flat. But there is a gradual drop off of elevation. So from one end, if I fly from up there, I can actually fly from that part, which is roughly almost 6 miles away, and I can actually fly the drone to my house and land it in the backyard. But I can't even get past the 2 miles away, so to speak, from my house flying back the other direction.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about, where you take off from can make a big difference on how far you're able to fly, or how
And so,
strong how far your connection is the better word for it.
correct. I understand. Hey, Mr. Stevie, Capture Lab
Yeah.
Connection. Thank you for popping in, sir. Really appreciate that. Hey, Jody Drone Shots. Thank you for coming in, buddy.
Hey, Stevie.
And I have
Well,
noticed
I
that.
hope that phone dried out.
Okay. I have noticed that too as well, Dre, is that if I actually take the drone one direction, I would say 15, 1,800 feet. But then if you make a quick left and then trying to bring it back, it seems to be a shorter way, one way than the other. So like you just said that you mentioned, you know what I mean, about
Mm-hmm.
the earth, being shaped a little different. I don't know. I was
Mm-hmm.
a little confused because I was like, wait a minute, if I only just make a direct, went straight, then just made a quick left turn. I never
Mm-hmm.
went, you know what I mean? This one was literally going straight, but then coming back, it was shorter than going. Then, what is that telling you? Like you were saying
Yeah.
something about the earth being shaped a little different.
Right. Yeah. Like I say, what may appear to be flat to the naked eye is actually slight elevation drops or gains. And that's why I tell people, when I go out and go to a job and I use Google Maps at home, excuse me, two almost fell out, is that I check Google Maps for the terrain elevations. I don't go for the satellite street view. I first go for the elevation parts to
Yeah.
see what the elevation is of the area. So that'll give me an idea of where I need to be taking off from. And then I'll switch over to the satellite view and see, okay, what's in that area? Is there a street there, or a parking lot there, or some other things that I can actually use as my takeoff location, because I want to be at the highest elevation as possible when I fly, so I can have the strongest connection.
Yeah.
Like I said, we always got trees, buildings, and even interference with Wi-Fi of other devices. Because I'm sure all of us get signals of saying, "Hey, we're getting a strong Wi-Fi interference with the controller," and you're like, "What's going on? I'm out here flying in the middle of nowhere," but it could be a signal being broadcast from somewhere, something else, and it could be something out of our complete control, something from our solar flares. We don't know that can
Yes, sir.
cause controller interference. And that's why I say always try to make sure you're at the highest area that you can fly from, and so that way you can keep a better line of sight for your controller, not just for you as a pilot, but for your controller. It's like we all know it. Sometimes you turn a different direction, you can lose complete connection just by
Yeah.
turning your body or whatever, and then you turn back and connection's restored. And you say, "Well, dude, I just turned my body a little bit and I lost connection and everything else." And just like same thing as you fly the drone and you turn, because where the antennas are situated on a drone, you can lose connection. You can be doing pretty well, and like I said, you make a turn to the left or turn to the right, and all of a sudden you lose your screen or
Correct.
you lose connection.
Correct.
And then you're guessing, okay, which way do I need to turn to get connection back again and stuff. So
we got Mr. David from AZ Drone Dude. Hey, buddy. Thank you for popping in. So I really appreciate that. Now, let's see here. Adrian, thank you for what you do. You and Dre are providing a service. Hey, thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. So we do try our best to bring in a great show, give you guys some good information. I'm not an expert. I'm actually learning from guys like Dre and everybody else. I'm just going along with everybody. Dre happens to be doing this for a living, so he actually has a lot more insight on it. I just have the platform to go ahead and talk about it.
Well, let's square away. I don't do this for actual living. This is like my side gig, but I do use it in my day job as safety. Now I'm a safety officer for the city of San Bernardino, and I was a previous construction inspector. So I was using it in my line of work for the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years now, as far as doing inspections. So there's a lot of things, or to say, a lot of experiences I have had with drones on different job sites, learning from, dealing around different equipment, being around different terrain and all this kind of stuff. So like I said, I'm just passing on information I've learned from. I've researched it, checked with other people, and they kind of confirm some of the things I'm telling you right now. So this is just not talking out my butt, but I'm trying to help folks out as much as I can.
Tenfold. Now, I'll be honest with you, Dre. I'm actually enjoying that DJI Phantom Pro Plus V2.0 with a built-in screen. I've been thinking about linking it with my smart controller. Because I do have, because with the standard controller that comes with a built-in screen, you can't do any screen recording, and I love to do screen recording. Now, exactly, how I am. I love to do it. I just like doing it. But I'm afraid that I'm not gonna get the kind of connection, I would say reliability with the smart controller than what I'm getting with this controller. So,
now my first question is: do you have is it a USB or HDMI out on that controller?
Actually, it does have it. Yes.
Okay. Now the question is, a lot of times with the built-in, just even with these smart controllers, it will have a HDMI out, but it's for viewing only.
Okay.
Okay, which means you can view it on another screen, but that screen will not have no controls.
Correct. So I would say that you can, with that HDMI out, you can actually connect it to a TV, and you'll be able to, you know what I mean, mirror. What you'll be doing on TV. Okay.
Right. You'll send it. There's usually a setting in the settings that you can have the HDMI output to go out or live, so you can connect to a TV or to another screen. I think Lon does that a lot. That he uses a secondary screen when he flies, and go from there. But some folks are thinking that if you transfer over to the screen information, does that allow you to, also use that as a controlling point? And I said, no. It's just
Okay.
like I said, it's like a more of a mirror, or you plugging in an extra viewing port is what it is.
Correct. Now, Dre, this is actually, hey guys, if you guys have any questions for Dre when it comes to part 107 or
Yeah.
stuff that I won't be able to answer, feel free to go ahead and do it. Hey, Mr.
Yeah.
No Fun Drone
JSK,
Production, how you doing, buddy?
I'll
Now, this
address.
question comes from Leonard, Dre.
Yeah, I'm gonna address that. When I was a construction inspector, and the engineers wanted me to do some work, as far as flying over some park renovations or street improvement jobs or whatever. Uh, they would schedule it because I work a 980 shift. That means every other Friday I have a day off. So what usually happens is I would come on that Friday I'm off, and I would fly that work. So I would get paid based on OT. And the standard rule for OT for my city is once you show up, it's 4 hours. So no matter if it took me 20 minutes to an hour, what it usually nothing took me more than an hour to do, I got paid
Yeah.
4 hours worth of work. And that's usually standard procedure. That's for any inspector. So I wasn't trying to cheat the system. That's just any of our inspectors get paid like that when they come in on their off time. So it's automatic 4 hours. It's in the MOU. So I wasn't trying to do anything else. But that's how I was compensated for a lot of city work. Now that I'm in management, my flight time has reduced significantly for the city because I can't get overtime anymore, being in a management position. So anything I do for the city at this point is basically out of the kindness of my heart, pretty much. But like I said, I do other work that makes up for it. Like I say, doing the work for the city has just basically helped me build a portfolio that I can show other clients of what I can do and what's
Yes,
capable of my abilities are, I should say. So that's how that worked out.
So, okay. So if you could, with the overtime, you'll be able to squeeze in some drone work through your job as well.
Well, I could say that's what I was doing. I could say because one thing is I don't care if you work for a city or even your own company. If they don't own the drone, that's your equipment. Okay, so there needs to be some kind of a compensation. Now, it's a difference if the city would have purchased the drone or purchased a drone and asked me to fly it as part of my duties. Then they can require me to fly it, and no extra compensation would be required. But since it's my equipment and everything else, I provide everything. And I just got a brand new director for Public Works, and I did a demonstration for him. I think you guys saw the video where I flew over the old mall, caught fire, flew over the roof for him, and everybody was telling him, go ask Dre to fly it for you, blah, blah, blah. So I gave him this big presentation stuff, but no one told him that all the equipment was mine. It didn't belong to the city because he was on the impression it all belonged to the city. And he and I had a little chit chat about that. And I said, well, I did this demonstration for you just to show the ability of what I can bring to the table, but I need to be compensated. And he said, what do you mean? I said, everything you saw out that day, I said, even the pop-up tent belonged to me. Okay. I said, you sat there under my tent, you saw my display screen while I was flying. I said, all that equipment you saw was all mine. And he said, oh, I thought it was the city. I said, no, that's all me. And he said, yeah, I get it. Because the city he came from had a drone. And they had a guy who had a 107 certification, and he flew for the city because he flew the city's drone. So no big deal. They didn't have to worry about compensating him additionally than his regular salary. So that was not a problem. And that's why I tell folks, you can, fly for your company or whatever the case may be. If it's your equipment, you can ask for compensation. That's legal. Okay. How they pay you through overtime, or they give you an extra couple of percentage points on your salary, a couple more dollars per hour. That's how you're being compensated, because it's not part of your original job description. These are extra duties that you're doing. So you
Okay.
can justify that, and that's how the city would have to justify it, or county, or whatever private company that you work for will have to justify that. But this is not part of your regular assigned duties. This is something extra. So if you're using your own equipment, that's how you get extra compensation.
Correct. Thank you, Bill. Newfound Drone Production.
Yeah.
Hey guys, go ahead and smash that
Hey,
like
Miss
button, the
Susan.
thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate it. Um, Besides the work that you already doing, Dre, were you able to pick up anything new, or you pretty much still have the same ones that you've been working on for a little bit now?
No, I've gotten the same ones I've been working on. Actually, those are all year long or longer projects. So I mean, I'm right now I'm being a little selective because those projects are priority. Like I said, I have 3 housing track positions, and I have two, one commercial one, the one out in Beaumont, California, and so those are my priorities right now. Anything else I pick up would be like we call a one-off job, a one-day
Yeah.
gig, doing something like that. Yeah, I may pick up some of those in between the weeks that I'm not doing something else. Like say this weekend, I didn't have anything going on, so I was kind of looking for something out there. Nothing caught my eye. Like I said, once again, I'm in that mode. I guess the pandemic put me in that don't want to travel too far mode and stuff. So unless something really catches my attention that I feel is going to enhance my portfolio, my business down the road, I don't get all excited about running down to LA County or San Diego County or anywhere else, for a job. I say I'll just say, you know what, it ain't worth it. It's not worth the drive, not worth the hassle. I mean, gas is still uh, close to $5. I think I paid $5.11 today for a gallon of gas, which is down from the
Yeah.
$6 and change we are paying a little over a month or two ago. But still,
Yeah.
I fill my tank up. It cost me about $70. And I say, so those are all factors that you got to put into when you're looking at these jobs.
Correct.
How much it's going to cost you to get there and get back home. And the sad thing is, a lot of these folks think nothing's changed. I said, no, my cost has gone up, and I'm sure you're raising your prices to make up some difference or just trying to make some extra money. So I'm like, hey, don't try to shortchange me as the pilot.
Correct.
Give me what I deserve, and we'll all keep rolling. But everybody's trying to nickel and dime where they can, and that's part of the issues that we find in our industry is that you still have companies out there who are raising their prices, but they don't want to raise up the prices for the pilots.
And I have heard a lot of people saying that unfortunately when it comes to Part 107 job, like what you do, Dre, or even realtors, they do try to
Mhm.
go ahead and just give you the bare minimum to go ahead and do a job, and then they want you to do more for the same price.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like just like Gary's saying, sometimes you just got to tell yourself it ain't worth it. You got to tell yourself walk away. Something else will come through, and 9 times out of 10, something else will come through. Like I said, you're always going to have those low ballers out there who want you to do stuff. And as soon as I start seeing people talking about, I guess the current thing now I see a lot is people want you to come out and do like 10 to 20 video clips of about 1 minute to 4 minute video clips. And I'm saying, I said, and they don't understand, a 1 minute to 4 minute video clip. And you want me to do about 10 to 15 of those?
Yeah.
You add that up, that's 2 or 3 batteries worth of flying.
Correct.
And you only want to offer me, barely over $100. I was like, no, you crazy. I'm like, no, for that kind of money, because the amount of time, amount of batteries I'm using, I said that's a $300-400 job easy, because I'm gonna have to spend that much time out there, like I say, 15 runs of 1 to 4 minute video clips. And I said, we all fly. We all know how much, that kind of footage runs and everything else, how much a battery's going to last us. I'm like, no, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Not at all. And stuff.
Not
So I said, sometimes you just got to walk away.
Yes, sir. Yes. So now when it comes to a new person, I guess what we like to call a greenhorn that just got his part 107. He wants to get
Yeah,
his foot wet. You know what I mean? Because right now, Dre, that the part 107, drone work is actually very saturated. Like there's a lot of people freaking
yeah,
doing it. Everybody believe that they could go ahead and get it done. You know what I mean? For cheaper or whatever.
right.
Do
Yeah,
you think it would be a good idea for the beginner to go ahead and just take whatever he can get just to get his foot wet?
there's two, I would say, lines of thinking, or I'd say two lines that you can approach this. As one who has his 107, yeah, there are some jobs you're gonna do. I call it grunt work. You're gonna take a few jobs that don't pay a whole lot and go from there. But the second thing is, don't get it over your head. That's the key thing. Don't just accept a job because he's like, okay, I can go do this. I said, a lot of times you need to actually know what you're doing and know what the expectation level of the client is. And
Correct.
actually, you find yourself out there over your head. And I say, one thing you don't want to do is create a bad reputation for yourself. Because I say, these people all run the same circles. Okay. So, in other words, when you do a bad job for somebody, they're going to tell somebody else you did a bad job for them. And next you know, you got a bad reputation out there and nobody's going to touch you. And that's why I tell folks, just because you got a drone doesn't mean uh, you automatically going to find work just because you on a drone. Like you said, there's a lot of people out there. Licensed people and unlicensed people are out there flying drones. And that's why I tell folks, go out there and get the stick time. And even when you're flying recreationally or whatever for fun, challenge yourself as if you're out there doing a job.
Yeah.
Learn to actually fly your drone. Put yourself in difficult positions. Know that one of the biggest things I kept pushing myself when I first started flying drones to be able to fly one shot moves. In other words, fly straight into something and go right into an orbit without hesitation or anything else. You just go boom and you start orbiting right around it. That's all about learning the sticks, being comfortable, learning what your drone can do and can't do, all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Because, like I say, that's when you can say, okay, I can do this with confidence. Like I say, just like electricians, carpenters, all that kind of stuff. People that come out of my field in construction, everybody was an apprentice at one time before they became a journeyman. And sometimes you just need to, stay in your lane and know what you can do. Pick up a few small jobs before you move on to the big jobs. And like I say, and like for me, when I get a simple job, I always over deliver. They say, oh,
Yeah.
all I want is 25 shots of this and that. 25 shots, I'll give them 40 shots. Didn't hurt me none. The drone was already up there. I just hit the photo button a couple more times. I was already sliding around, orbiting around the building. Click, 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 click. Because my thing is, every shot's not gonna come out perfect. So I have abundance of shots. I can pick the very best I got and still deliver it to the customer. And most of my customers appreciate all the extra shots I give them because, like I say, it gives them a selection. It don't hurt me. It ain't like the old days where you had to buy film. Every shot was worth a million, whatever it was the film was back then. So you had to say, okay, I only got 24 shots on this roll of film. Man, we got SD cards that hold. You can almost shoot a whole movie on one SD card.
Okay.
Okay, so it ain't like it's killing me to take an extra 10, 15 shots. They ain't hard no SD card. I mean, like I said, I run with anything from a 64 to 128 gig SD card, and it don't even show up on the computer as being scratched in the surface. Now I'm out there doing photogrammetry where I'm taking 700 to over 1,000 shots. Yeah, I start eating up data on those
Yeah.
cards. But when I'm only doing like a one-off shot of a commercial facility or something like that, man, 40 shots is nothing. 40, 50 shots don't even scratch the surface. And I'm usually doing those jobs with one battery.
Okay.
You go out there and get the amount of pictures you want. Boom, boom, boom. They might want a quick little orbit, and then they also gonna want some ground shots. So that means you got to have a DSLR camera that can shoot anywhere from, I would say, a minimum of 18 megabits, but it's got to be able to shoot raw. 20 megabits is pretty much the standard now. It's got to make sure you shoot it raw. and take those pictures. So you're doing air and ground shots of a lot of these properties, and then you just
Yeah.
deliver to it. Either you put together something for them, like Dobo does. He puts together a little video for his people and stuff like that. Some other folks just tell you, hey, just upload what you got to us, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So that's the end of it. So it all depends where you want to get in that. It's tough to say don't take the low paying job. I get it. You're gonna do some grunt work, and I say if you want to do grunt work, do it for nonprofits. Do it for maybe public safety people and stuff like that. That way there is no expectation of money being lost, but you're gaining experience.
Okay.
In a way, and
now
going from there.
Now, when you say to go ahead and go out there, fly your drone, get used to it, put yourself in a situation where you have to go ahead and literally fly the drone. Don't just let the drone just fly itself. When it comes to my Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, Dre, where you change from, I guess, GPS mode to sports mode, but they also have something else called ADI mode. I actually put my drone on ADI mode by mistake, and it literally said there's no GPS. Next thing you know, the drone started doing this movement where it's actually getting away from me. I got scared. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even know until I actually looked at the screen that says ADI mode.
Yeah.
So with ADI mode, it has no GPS. It started flying. It just started getting away from me.
Well, you do have a little bit of GPS. It's just not locked in. But I'm going to address Western Michigan talked about no reason you can't use your drone for ground shot. Very true. But like I said, depending on the size of the drone, you don't want to be walking around like a waiter, walking that drone around and looking at your controller, snapping pictures. Just go and spend the money on a regular DSLR camera, buy an average lens for it, and go to town. That's just wear and tear on you. Try to hold a drone up, because when you're trying to get trying to take another 20, 30 ground shots, you don't want to be carrying a drone around, especially if it's a Phantom 4 or something larger than that. You guys remember, most of us are not flying mini drones out there for commercial work. We're flying larger drones. So, carrying a drone around is not really an option a lot of times. But back to what you said, Adrian, a lot of the early drones, the early Phantoms, the Phantom 1, 2, the GPS was so weak, it basically was ADI mode. Phantom 3 continued to have ADI mode. I think, the Phantom 4s have an actual setting for it. And I tell people, test yourself, fly in ADI mode. That will make you a better pilot, because what happens is the drone just not just lock in place. It's kind of like a fast and loose GPS where the drone will drift. It don't just take off on you. It just drifts a little bit here, drifts a little bit there. And it just doesn't have a hard GPS lock.
Correct.
And I say it's a good way to learn how to be a very good pilot, because that way you're able to still maintain control. People say you get better cinematic shots in ADI mode because the drone kind of just drifts along, and it's not just abrupt stop. It's not abruptly stopping or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and that's why I say, I started off with a Phantom 2, and that thing taught me about actually flying more than anything else I've flown since. So when I went from a Phantom 2 up to a Phantom 3 and everything else, and the Spark and everything else I've had over the years, those drones were easy to fly because the GPS was a hard lock, and boom, it stopped. I sent it up, and bouncing around maybe 6 inches or so. That's no big deal compared to you're bouncing around 4 or 5 feet in ADI mode and stuff. And the folks who've never flown in ADI mode are especially, and I think you can get into ADI mode by accident with the. I know what happened to me with the Mavic Pro when I got to too much interference from concrete and rebar on a building, and it went to ADI mode because it lost GPS signal.
Yeah,
and that's when I say it gets a little nervous, because those drones are not used to flying and ATTI mode, and they're unpredictable. The Phantoms are a little more predictable. The Mavic line is unpredictable when it loses GPS, and sometimes the controller will tell you, it'll say ATTI mode. It'll say ATTI mode on the controller, but how they react is a little bit different.
Yeah, again, it scared the hell out of me a little bit. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
what the heck is going on? Until I caught myself and then I popped it, back to where it goes. The next thing you know, boom, like it just stopped all the drifting, what I mean? Like I was just literally
yeah,
getting away from me.
yeah.
I just thought it was something, interesting. I did
Yeah,
fly. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say if you're in an open area, and I strongly suggest being a very open area. I ain't talking about this with trees. I said no trees. You don't want to be no trees, no telephone poles,
Yeah,
wide open area. Put it in ATTI mode and just fly around a little bit. Fly around. And the biggest thing is fly out a little bit, bring it back to you, fly it back to you. Fly it back to you. And then you'll really get a good feel of how it is actually have to fly that thing.
yeah. So I did want to hit on flew one battery on ATTI mode, and I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah.
I kept control of it pretty nice. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually high enough above my trees, of course, and I was flying it.
Right.
I brought it back, no problem. Hell, I even
Mm-hmm.
landed it, no problem. Now, again, it just takes a little more finesse when you fly it in ATTI
Yes.
mode than just
Yes.
GPS mode. Because with ATTI
Yes.
mode, you're going to have to, it's like, you're going to have to put a lot more thought into what
You
you're doing.
think? Yeah. Like I said, because you don't want to overcompensate. And like I said, the drone doesn't react right away. So you kick them controllers over too hard, and then it might take 5-6 seconds for the drone to actually respond, and then it goes way over that way. You're like, wow. You should remember a feather touch, a feather
Yeah.
hand touch on the controllers, and in that way you're good to go.
Hey, Wenby, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for popping in. We got Mr. Michael's drones. I don't know, see Hobby. Thank you, Michael. Mike Reynolds, thank you for popping in, sir. Really appreciate it. Well, that I missed that actually just came in. Melanie and the Bear Dogs, thank you for popping in. Really appreciate that. That's pretty much it right there. So yeah, have you been seeing that a lot of the drones actually the price actually coming down, Dre? Some drones that were 4, 5, 600 bucks more, the price actually dropped. Now I heard that Altair is coming out with an Altair Evo 3, but it's pretty much gonna be the same drone, but yet a different chipset. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't heard that. I just know they're coming out with something with another smart controller,
Yeah, they're coming
which I
out. It's basically gonna be the same design like the
uh-huh.
Altair Evo 2, same thing,
Right.
nothing changed. It's just gonna be a
Okay.
different chipset.
Okay. Well, I guess
There's
the
no
part I
change
heard
in
was
the
about
camera or
the
nothing.
controller. Yeah. And I don't know. It's almost like the drone community, I say that the manufacturers are almost getting like automotive manufacturers.
Yeah,
They're
but
they're
it just
they're,
that
they're
DJI keep changing the design a little bit of all the drones they keep bringing out, but Alta just keeping it simple, dumb, stupid with the same, you know what I mean? Orange color
yeah.
or just the same design. Hey, brother John, Mr. JRC, thank you for
Well,
popping in, buddy.
what I was going for is it's almost like, well, I call it, clearing the parts bin out. You make these drones and then you realize, well, we got all these parts and pieces sitting on the shelf. So what are we gonna do? You slap it all together and you give it a new name.
Yeah.
Okay, you give it oh, this is this year instead of being the Dodge Charger. Now we got the Hellcat. Well, I said most all the parts and pieces are the same one on the regular Charger that came out the year before. All
Correct.
you did was basically put another chip in the thing, so it got a little more advanced stuff on the engine, but everything else is basically the same.
Correct.
So basically you're clearing out your parts bin, and that's what I say. You clear out parts bins and you try to create something. You call it something new, but it's all the same. And
Yes.
DJI is doing to a certain extent. It's like right now they're talking about the Mavic 3 Enterprise with the same camera setup that's on the Mavic 30, the Matrice 30,
Yeah.
the same camera specs that's on the M300. And like I said, I think I was telling you and others, I said, but the problem is, the complaint or the desire is, give us something with the same specs as the Phantom 4 Pro camera has. But you guys have skipped over that and give us something else. It's nice to have a what I call my M30T the Swiss Army knife. It's capable of doing a little bit. It's capable of doing a little bit of everything. Okay, but I would love to have the same detail of work that I get from my Phantoms. Okay, give me a drone that can match that effort. So, in other words, the industry does not have to abandon that technology. And we'll talk. I'm sure we're going to talk about that later on in the show about why myself personally have been trying to look for something different to get away from the Phantoms, because, like I say, the parts bin is closed. They're not selling any more Phantoms. If you crash one, guess what? You just have to go to the used car market. You got to find a used one somewhere, because you can't really find one anywhere. You can't find original batteries hardly anywhere, and all this kind of stuff. So you start to look in in other words, you're going to the junkyard, salvage yard, whatever you want to call it, looking for parts, trying to keep what you got running, and pretty soon you're going to run out of that, because you're not the only one looking.
Yeah.
There's thousands of other people out there with the same desire you have to keep this drone in the air, and pretty soon all the parts are gone. So once you have a problem, that's it.
Correct.
You got to say, what do I have next to go with? And that's what I'm saying about DJI not building something that actually, unless you go to a M300 with the P1 lens on it, which is basically, that's a $50,000 setup.
Yeah.
25,000 for the drone, and another $15,000 for the lens. There you go, $50,000 easy. So that's what I'm saying, that people don't want to have to make that kind of giant leap. I mean, I didn't want to go to that giant leap. I said the M30T kind of sat in my budget area, something I can kind of extend myself to, and hopefully that DJI does some firmware updates to make it even better down the road. I mean, they made the Enterprise Advanced a little better just recently. 2 months ago, they had a nice update for it to be able to have the zoom capabilities stay consistent, just like what you get on the Air 2S and other drones. But now with the Mavic Enterprise coming out, Mavic 3 Enterprise coming out, that pushes the Enterprise Advanced off the shelf. Okay, it sits on the same platform as the Mavic 2 Pro, and like I say, people in the chat can probably tell you who own that. It's hard to find batteries for that now. For the Mavic 2 Pro, it's hard to find original DJI batteries. So, like I say, when the accessories start to dry up, it's like, what are we going to do? And it's so sad that the drone life goes by so fast. Okay, the drone you just bought that never dropped in price at all, you bought it for the same price it was 5 years ago. Didn't drop. If anything, the price of Phantoms has gone up, because that's how valuable they are. Compared, you talking about other drones. I just saw a Mavic Pro for $299, 4 batteries, whole shebang.
Yeah.
But the Phantoms, it cost you almost $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah.
For the same outfit.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That's how good this system was, or still is, and it's not losing its value. But DJI is going to force us to move on to something else, and that's the sad part. And those who might be thinking of a Phantom 5, that Mavic 3 Enterprise just killed that off the table for sure. I mean, I knew it was dead a couple of years ago, but now that you're taking your top consumer level drone, which is the Mavic 3, the top level consumer drone, and now you're gonna put that at the bottom tier of your enterprise level.
Yeah, well, exactly. But according to the pictures, Dre, and what
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is talking about, and the little leaks that they
Yeah,
put it out, basically the new DJI Mavic 3 is basically gonna have the only difference that is gonna have the same camera as your M30T,
right.
and then according to the pictures, the battery is gonna be, I think it's gonna be what is it, fiberglass or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
reduced the
know,
weight. That's reduced
sir.
the weight. That's to reduce the weight.
Okay.
The camera is gonna be larger,
Yes.
okay, because of the camera size. So you got to reduce weight. So something's going to give. So you make a lighter body, strong though. I'm surprised. Well, we all wish they make carbon fiber, but fiberglass is about the next closest thing is carbon fiber.
Yeah,
And
carbon. Yeah, I'm sorry,
so,
fiberglass. Carbon fiber. I'm sorry, not
okay,
fiberglass. There
carbon
you go.
fiber, like I say, it nicely reduces the weight, so it can still carry the payload, which is the camera, and and the battery might be about the same, might be a little better, whatever the camera may be, and you go on from there. Like I said, they're taking stuff out of the parts bin. You got a lot of cameras. This is where they're going to, and you're using the same camera technology that's off the M30T, which is basically off the M300 with the HT20, the H20 as an H20T camera, and you're putting on 3 different models of drones, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Now, Aldia said that the second that thing comes out, he is gonna go ahead and get it, and I think he is.
Who's
Knowing
that?
Aldias,
Oh
time to
yeah,
fly.
oh yes,
He
yeah.
said he's gonna go ahead and get it. According to him, if
Mhm.
it does come out, indeed.
Yeah, Al loves his Mavic 3, but like I say, he knows its limitations. So this enterprise version is right up his alley. He says, "Okay, I'm not limited no more."
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much. Have you
yeah,
have you ever thought about doing I'm not using the right terminology, boy. Like jailbreaking your drone. How people like to do that thing where like the no-fly zone, all that crap on your drone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Well, just like you say, you jailbreak it, or you get the no-fly zone hack, which makes it
Correct, correct.
just like
Have
an
you ever thought
Autel.
about doing that on any of your drones?
I never really took it seriously. I mean, it's interesting, but same thing. There's always been ways to do things in the system that is already set up.
Yeah,
People want to do it because they feel like, oh, it's such a hassle to go through the Lance when it first came
authorization
out.
and stuff like that. Okay.
Right. And like I said, well, now it's so easy. You get Lance approval within minutes. Before it took days. Now it's within minutes and stuff. And other people say, well, I don't fight being bothered. And there's always the old adage that I don't want nobody to know where I'm at or why I'm flying here. I said, well, dude, that's part of life. Even private pilots take off the little airplanes, and they got to let the tower know where they're going. They got to submit a flight plan, all that kind of stuff. So, I have yet to be in a situation where I could not fly a job. That's all I can put it in. I've always been able to get clearance through the proper procedures, everything else. Even the days when we had to call the tower, I always got clearance. Now I go through, Lance, or I go through FAA for a waiver. I've always gotten my clearance. So I mean, yes, it's a little bit extra step, but at least it shows if I run into somebody out there who questions who I am or why I'm there, I have all the appropriate paperwork at hand to say this is who I am, this is where I'm at, and this is my authorization. And I tell them you have a nice day. So that's what I'm saying. It's a hindrance on one side, but it can help you on the other side.
Yeah.
If you ever get approached, because if you out there with a hacked drone and somebody approaches you who knows you should not be flying there, and like I said, we don't know what the role law enforcement is going to play with some of these new rules that are coming out. And like I said, you don't want to be in a situation to where you might run into a informed officer down
Yes.
the road that knows the rules and everything else, and then you can't produce no paperwork. So basically, he's going to know one thing, and that's how people. This is not to say it's going to happen, but this is how things lead to drones getting confiscated, because now you may have yourself flying in an unauthorized area with no paperwork to back up while you're flying there. So guess what? The officer is going to take the stance that you're flying for nefarious reasons, and we're going to confiscate this drone until you prove otherwise.
Correct.
Because, like I said, you go out and fly to national park with a hacked drone. What are they going to do? They're going to keep your drone. I guarantee they're going to keep your drone.
And I could probably see that happening a lot now with this remote ID, thing kicks in with all these new laws, you know what I mean? And now people will be able to know where you at, who's flying, telemetry, all that good stuff. I could see a lot of shit just hidden.
Yeah, and basically,
it's gonna get worse before it get better.
It's a way. I don't think it's going to be heavy enforcement that we all fear, but it's a way, just like with the trust test, just like with Lance, it's a way to keep the general mass of people who fly in compliance.
Yeah.
You're always going to have it, as we say, the 10%. You're always going to have that 10% that's going to do what they want to do. Fly when they want to fly. Don't worry about the rules and just go at it and stuff. But for majority of us, we're going to continue to do the way the rules are set up and go about our business. And that's it. And that's why I say, yeah, it's interesting about having a hacked drone. But like I said, I don't want to be the poster boy. So I don't want to be that poster child who has to sit there and explain himself and say, yeah, I just lost my very expensive drone because somebody confiscated it because I was flying in an unauthorized area, yada yada yada, and they have every legal right to confiscate the drone.
Correct.
At that point, so it's like I say, everything's not going to be perfect. Just like I'm like everybody else. The remote ID part I don't like is anybody can possibly know the location. I don't care about law enforcement or anybody else. I applaud that part. I'm not real happy about the other parts. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the same way, Dre. If it's the FAA or the law enforcement that wants to know what Adrian is doing, I'm good with that. But when it comes to Mr. Joe Blow, who hates drone and now he wants to be a dick, or mess for me, or even try to rob me or do me any harm, that's where I have a problem with that.
Yeah, and like I say, that's where I can say if I would have been part of the lawsuit group, I would have said that's the area I would have went after is for that. And like I said, there's already documentation of drone pilots being approached. I don't know why anybody's been harmed at this point, but there's been enough interactions. There's been enough videos on YouTube to justify safety issues with drone pilots interacting with the public. And, so I mean, so if they can't say, well, we haven't had anything happen yet. I said, yeah, you have had things happen yet. We've had uninformed, uneducated law enforcement get into it with drone pilots. We've had Joe Blow and Jane Blow get into it with drone pilots.
Oh, the Karens. We got the Karens out there.
Well, that's why I say Joe Blow and Jane Blow. I didn't want to see Karens, but those scenarios have already happened. They've already been videotaped. They're on YouTube and everything else. I've had my encounter with a gentleman who I'm working on his site, and he comes questioning me about what I'm doing because on another site next to his, he saw somebody else, and that's who he was used to seeing. And I'm the new pilot, so he's questioning me. And the funny thing was, Adrian, I wasn't even on the property. I was flying from the street.
Yeah,
and wow. he was trying to question me about why am I flying over the property. And I said I didn't try to challenge the guy. I just like I say, first thing I did was identify who I was.
Yeah,
this is me. Here's my business card. This is my license. And he asked about who you working for. I looked at my phone. I said, I'm working for this company right here. That's who sent me out here. Once I established myself, he backed down because he knew I was legitimate.
Correct.
Because the company he works for, I'm working for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the ground rules were established. Okay, as far as that went, I was legitimate. He had no worry about me because I was there for a legitimate reason. He couldn't stop me. I wasn't worried
Exactly.
about.
Yeah.
I wasn't concerned about that. He wasn't going to stop me, but I had to make sure no problem. Because when he left me alone, right away I sent a message to the company says, "Hey, this guy right here, on site foreman, was questioning about why am I out here, and I'm sure somebody talked to him about it
Yeah.
because I ain't seen him since."
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, so I'm like,
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. This is how you handle yourself. Know what you do. Identify yourself. Identify your credentials of being there and everything else. And 9 times out of 10, things will work out in your favor. Anything else, and that's what I tell folks. If it's for fun or whatever, dude. It's just just prepare yourself. All you got to prepare yourself for the worst, man. Because you never know who you're gonna run into and everything else. Like I said, very often, like the 3 housing tracks I'm doing, like out of the 2 I have, out of 3 I have are right next to existing housing areas. So there's a high possibility that I'm gonna get somebody who hears the drone and is gonna come outside and wonder where's that drone at, and they're gonna come around the corner out of their housing development and say, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing my job. I'm being paid out here to do a job." Simple as that. I'm not on your property. I'm out here away from your house. Yada yada yada. Thank you very much. You have a great day. I've even had a guy talking about, I'm gonna call the police. I said, "Here's my business card. Thank you. You can tell them who I am. Have them come out here. Thank you very much." Because a lot of people think, oh, you gonna call police? I'm afraid. I'm like, dude, I ain't afraid. I used to be the cop. I ain't afraid. So I'm like, say, I know I'm there legitimately, legally, legitimately. I'm there and stuff.
Yes. Now to address Ray of Sunshine, Dre,
Mm-hmm.
he said, "Question: Can you use a PO box address for registering the drone?" I don't
That's a
even know how
good.
to answer that.
That's a good question because I'm not sure, but I'm sure when you go to register your drone, it will address that. If you go to the FAA site where you're supposed to go register your drones at, if they will allow you to use a PO box, I want to say off the top of my head there needs to be a fixed address to actual location and not a PO box because technically it could be a PO box, it could be and stuff, but I would go to the FAA site and start going through the process or ask that question there and ask them could you use a PO box. I just know PO box is always, like I say, people use them for legitimate reasons, and you have other folks who use it for nefarious reasons. So I'm not sure how the FAA is going to sit on that. But my thing is just make sure that your drones, it would be recreational or commercial, because all of mine were registered commercial from day one. Even before I got my 107, I registered all my drones as commercial because that's what I was going for at the time. So I went ahead and went through the 107 part. But yeah, just go ahead and like I say, and I tell you, I've had to spend $5 over a couple of times. Every time I got a drone repaired from an issue, they sent me a rebuilt one. I'm out $5. Had to spend $5 more to register the new one.
Yeah,
because it wasn't the same drone I sent them. They sent back.
correct.
And like I said, I didn't know until I started actually looking at the drone. I'm like, hey, this ain't my old drone. They didn't fix this. They sent me another drone. So yeah,
Mr. JRC is actually busting
I
your
know.
balls a little bit.
I know. I don't know. He's all
Let's
good,
see.
man. It's all good.
Yeah. Well, again, Ray of Sunshine, I don't even know how to answer that. Like Dre said, technically you might be able to, but I would send you, like Dre said, to the FAA, drone
FAA
zone and just find out,
drone zone. Yeah.
find that information out.
Yeah, go there and figure it out. I know some folks who live out in the boonies, they have no choice but to use PO boxes because the mailmen don't deliver. So yeah, that is a good question. Good question. Yeah. So what else we got going on?
I actually been looking at I just actually found out not too long ago that my Altel Evo was actually the price went down, so I actually had to go ahead and get in touch with Adorama. Thanks to
Yeah,
my good old buddy, old pal, Mr. Aldias, who actually went ahead and gave me the 411 on that.
yeah.
I didn't know if Aldias would have never took the time to go ahead and go through it with me and let me know. I actually got a little bit of a kickback refund because the price actually dropped, and since the drone is actually less than 30 days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
I was able to
which
get
is
a little
good.
kickback refund
That's
on it,
great.
which actually every penny helps.
Yeah, that's great that businesses are standing behind their policies and everything else. That I don't care what business you're into. That just means people are more willing to come back and do business with you again.
Yeah, because they have it again. You could find it drone on Amazon cheaper. Adorama got it cheaper. You know what I mean? B&H
Hmm.
got it cheaper.
Right.
Alted, even the Alted website actually went down.
Hmm.
Um, so if you did buy one, by the way, and it's less than 30 days, and it did go down in price, call them and they will have to give you a refund back. Just to let anybody know.
Okay. And that's on the
That's
Autel. Is that the big one or one of the
that,
mini?
that, that will that will be the Altel Evo 2 Pro,
Oh, okay.
6K Enterprise, or any 6K any Enterprise bundle that
Oh, okay.
that what you paid,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and then you
Right.
look at the
Yeah.
website now and it's cheaper. Any
Yeah. Okay.
overage that you actually pay, they will actually give you a refund back.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we get the right drone up there. I don't want people calling to think they're gonna get a discount on their Autel Nanos or something.
No, it's no damn discount. If the price went down and again it's less than the 30 days, you can actually call them and they will give you a refund.
That's good. That's good. Stuff.
And I
That's
noticed
real good.
that Max is actually promoting his piece of shit minefield thunder turds. I guess little meetup that they actually had recently.
Yeah, I guess they had a big. I don't know how large it was. I haven't heard the numbers of Max or Maddie can tell us about how many folks showed up at Minefield this weekend down there. Is it in Tennessee or Kentucky? Minefield's at.
I don't know. I think it was in Kentucky. I don't know. I think it was because Bob Casey was actually over there, and Bob Casey actually sent me some pictures with you know what I mean, with Max and
No,
some of the other guys. So
I'm
I don't
I'm
know. I
laughing.
think it was.
I'm
I
laughing
think
at
it
Uncle
was in.
Bill.
Huh?
I'm laughing at Uncle Bill's answer about the PO box.
Okay, so you cannot do it then.
Read the whole thing.
Pretty funny. Just research and know you cannot register drone to PO Box, but if you have any final question, you can mail a letter to the yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, the drone meter was in Tennessee, by the way.
Yeah, I know it's Tennessee or Kentucky area down there. So I hope everybody had a great time down there at Minefield, and hopefully we'll see some. I've seen a couple snapshots and I think a short video of the early birds who are there and stuff. But I'm sure there's going to be some extensive stuff shown later on. Between 50 and 100. I tell you guys, won't be no usher at my church. See how many folks in the pews. 50 and 100. Get you a clicker, dude.
Hey, brother Joe Fotaleo. How you doing, Joe Fotaleo? Thank you for popping in, buddy. Really appreciate that, man. Hey, guys, go ahead and smash the thumbs up on the stream. I really appreciate that. Let's see what's up with this money and going good, dude. Okie guys, if you're not subscribed to one another, go ahead and do that. Support everybody. Support to each other. Watch his other videos. Share it. Show some love and support.
What did Manny do now? He said he has to buy a DJI POS.
Well, Maddie happens to be the Mr. I like to crash my drone now because I think he did went ahead and crashed either one or a few of the drone meetup they had in, I think it was in Chicago.
Yeah, but I thought he was going to rebuild them.
I have no idea. I sent him a link for him to be in the panel, but he haven't joined yet.
And now he's talking about he has to buy something. I'm like, I thought he just broke an arm and some other little small bits. I didn't think it was that serious.
You're very welcome, V Dub. That was actually a pretty good video you popped in your channel, buddy. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah. So I guess after the inspection of the crash, I guess the damage is a little more extensive, huh, Maddie?
I guess so. I know that they've been busting his balls because he crashed.
Oh, okay. He said he was joking about buying a DJI. Okay. I'm just saying. Like I said, I don't pretend to know anything about FPV. I just got to go by what you guys tell me, and that's about it. One
Well,
day I'll dip my toe.
I'm sure that a lot of these guys here in the chat now are probably gonna get a DJI. I even forgot the freaking name of the damn drone. What is it called? Avata. What is it called?
Yeah, Avata.
Avata drone. I
Yeah,
know.
the
I think
Avata.
Marty gonna get it.
Yeah.
I believe that Fly Zone Drone brother's gonna get it. I believe that Max is gonna get it, even though he keeps saying DJI sucks. But every time he does a freaking sunrise or sunset it's with a DJI Phantom drone, but he keeps saying DJI sucks every time. It never fails. That damn Maximo, he's a funny guy.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, I'm just waiting for the prices to keep coming down on the original FPV one. I said
Dude,
they're down to about $700 now, so I'm waiting to hit that $500 mark, and I might scoop one up.
I know, but you know what needs to happen, Dre? This freaking prices on this damn Mavic 2 Pro and the other drones, the price need to go down on the battery. The batteries I just keep holding on strong. One battery for the Mavic 2 Pro or the Zoom still at 149.
Yeah,
And that drone happens to be an old freaking drone. They don't even make it anymore. We got a
I
couple of
know.
people. We got JDS Flying Canic, Timeless Truth. Hey, brother, how you doing? Thank you for popping in, sir.
Well, that's what I was saying about the Phantom. I said the Phantom, is one of the oldest drones out there by anybody's standard. Everybody else is doing way the dodo. I think you don't find old uniques out there holding off at that same price they were originally. You don't find any Alltales that came out. You can't even find an X Star anywhere,
Yeah.
And stuff. And you probably get somebody probably give it to you right now if you wanted.
just to get out of their hands.
Just to get this guy out of their house, So I'm like, and that's what I'm saying. Here you are, the Phantoms are still holding retail price from 5, 6, 7 years ago, still holding retail price. And I say, don't try to buy like one of my Obsidian one, dude. They'll try to get $3,000 out of you for Obsidian one in a heartbeat. I knew I should have bought a third one about sometime last year when some guy was selling for about $1,200, and I kept thinking, the price will come down, and the prices just keep going up, So I like my Obsidians because they're easier to see in the sky. That dark gray black against the white clouds or blue sky is easier to pick up in the sky than the white ones.
Now, Dre, I just went ahead and pulled up on Amazon, and the DJI Mavic 2 Flymo combo for the Mavic 2 Pro or Zoom is priced at $339.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you about earlier. I said if it had been like $239, I'd have scooped it up. But $339, it's just sitting in the basket. But I ain't at the register yet.
Okay, now I like to buy my stuff from Best Buy, and I think Best Buy have it a little cheaper.
Is that right?
While we're here, let me actually take a look at it for you right now, and I'll let you know if you just bear with me for 1 second.
If Best Buy got it cheaper, I might slide by tomorrow or Monday. If they got it cheaper, because all I need is two batteries to fill both my cases. I'm one battery down on both of my Mavic 2 Pros.
Yeah, and the thing is, let me see here. And the thing is, Dre, is that with that fly mode combo, you're actually gonna you might not need the propellers, but it is gonna come with some extra props.
Yeah,
You know,
it
the
comes with the
brick, the
props.
charging brick and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got too much of that stuff as it is. It's packed away in a box in a closet with the little bag and stuff.
Hell, I don't even trying to put it up on Best Buy. I don't even see it right now. So I wonder if they actually. I wonder if they don't have it anymore or what. Oh yeah, they do. Actually, Best Buy is more expensive. They have it for $3.99. Amazon have it for $3.39. So it's actually $400 on Best Buy, but it's it's $3.39 at what you call it?
On Amazon.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't see anything in Best Buy. I would have caught before. Now I don't go into them anymore unless I gotta just pick up something. That's about it. I'm trying to. I was in Best Buy last week. What did I pick up? Oh yeah, was it TV? Yeah, I picked up a TV and stuff.
You picked up another big screen TV?
Yeah, dude. I've had the worst luck in the last 6 months with TVs in the house, dude. I had to go talk to my boy out in Canoga Park, hooked me up with a refurbished 55-inch for the bedroom because the wife wasn't happy with the 40-inch. So I get a 40-inch. I get a 40-inch to the daughter, to one of my daughters, and put another 55-inch up there. And I got a 50-inch. That's what I got from Best Buy. The 50-inch behind me, and I gave the I don't know what happened to it. I had another 55-inch that was in the bedroom. I ended up taking it to my parents' house because like I said they don't care about the sound. That TV speakers is fine for them. I'm a little too picky, so they got that TV sitting in their bedroom and stuff. So
yeah, I'm looking at Facebook and I'm looking at a picture that Matt Condiff posted at 2:53 p.m. about his drone. He actually broke the freaking arm completely off the damn FPV drone.
Yeah, as I said, I know he broke an arm on it. I didn't know what else damaged. I don't know if the motors were shot or anything like that.
Yeah, it also look at the freaking camera in the front. It's pretty bad too.
Yeah, the camera got a little damaged. I'll say he should get that. What's that frame Lawrence always talks about? If you crack it or whatever, they replace it for free. Yeah.
Holy cow!
Mike
said that thing must have hit hard for that to happen.
Yeah, he said he was doing a dive. I think he said he was doing a dive, and it didn't come out of it good enough. So broke motor and GoPro 2.
Holy crap! Yeah, that's gonna cost a little bit of change to get that fixed.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, a lot of these guys are actually getting pretty good about fixing them their own self. They just buy the parts and put it back together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said good. I said Al Diaz didn't make it tonight.
No, he didn't. I did want to hit and send him a link for him to pop in, but he never did.
Oh, he said somehow Phelps said kicked it over a concrete parking lot. Yeah, that's about what it comes into being.
Holy crap! At
100 feet up.
Yeah.
Just like you and I were talking about with the Phantom batteries. I said, dude, that battery disconnects it. I said, it's just gonna smash. It is just gonna smash. That's all it's gonna do. Smash.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like I told you earlier on the phone with flying my damn Phantom 4 Pro with one of those third-party batteries. While I'm flying, it was fine, but the second I landed, because again, when you do that landing on that Phantom, it doesn't really land smooth like the Mavics. It actually hits the ground. You know what I mean? The way it shakes a little bit. So maybe when it hit the ground, the battery connection, just went out for a quick second. Yep. And I was just scared because I don't want that to happen while I'm flying. I don't mind if it does that when I land, but when I'm up in the air, I don't need that battery to go ahead and disconnect for one quick second. You know what I mean? Because that thing's coming down.
Yep. That it will do. I have experienced that before.
So that happened to you before then?
Yeah, my Phantom Standard just took off, and I'm sitting there going through the camera settings, And the only thing I noticed, all of a sudden, it was quiet. You know how usually when the drone takes
Yeah,
off,
you
you
hit
can
the
hear,
drone. Yeah,
hear,
yeah,
you hear the
yeah.
drone, and
Oh
all of a sudden it was
man.
just dead quiet. And I looked up, and this thing's coming down, and I couldn't get my fat butt off the hood of my car fast enough to catch it. And that thing's like this pancake, splat.
Holy crap! Did the battery caught on fire? Did it explode or anything?
No, the battery hit the ground, ejected, no problems. The legs is kind of, it's like pancake. The legs split out like this. The camera itself got just crushed. It was like I was just picking up pieces, dude. I was like picking up pieces. I said, okay, put it back. I actually put it all back in the case. It is sitting in the case in my garage right now. Just sitting in the case, all the broken pieces. I don't even want to look at it no more.
I hear you. Dre, Barkley 107 Drones saying that you have one of the biggest microphones you've ever seen. Maybe the way the cameras got that shot, that's what make it look big.
Yeah. When I first saw him typed, I was going to say something else, but I'm being polite.
Yeah. Now, hey, Gary Brown Aerials. For what drone did you buy that carry fresh for? He must have just got a brand new drone then.
Yeah, he got his replacement for his Air 2S that escaped from his car.
Okay, 10-4. Okay. Well, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Oh, you didn't hear about the breakout of his Air 2S?
No.
Oh man, it was tragedy, Adrian. This absolute tragedy.
So is the actual video?
I don't know. No video. It just Gary told us, man. I don't know what he was thinking. He just left his drone, didn't care. I don't know if they had a fight or something. But Gary said, "You stay in the car. I'm leaving." And Gary walked off. And then all of a sudden, the drone said, oh, "Screw this. I'm out." And somebody came and freed the Air 2S from Gary's car, and they left together.
Oh no shit! Oh man! Holy crap!
Yeah. So yeah, that just goes to show you, don't get to a fight with your drone and leave it in the car behind you. Like with the wife, don't leave the wife at home when you fight.
I'll be damned. Damn it, man. So I'm assuming he had to come out of his pocket and buy another one, and now he got the carry fresh.
But yeah, I believe so.
Does the carry fresh also cover theft?
I don't know. That's a good question we can ask Gary.
Because I don't think it covers any theft. I thought it covers damages or flyaways or stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the theft part, I think you have to file a claim with his regular car insurance, something like that, if his car insurance covered theft. Because it's like you can have theft of your radio out of your car or whatever else. Your car gets broken into, you can file a claim or something.
Somebody just sent me something. What the hell? Oh, man. What the hell? This idiot.
You see Gary? You see Gary's response?
Might as no. Hold on, let me look at it right now.
Yeah, it said not only the Air 2S left, the iPad joined in, and something else. The iPad Mini 6 joined in, and he had 30 flights of vacation footage. So I guess they told Gary, "We'll get you, buddy. Leave us in the car alone by ourselves."
Damn. See,
motorcycle replace it.
See that's that bullshit, Dre. I don't.
Oh yeah.
It's not right. I don't care if I leave my door open. It's not your shit. Stay out of my damn car. It's not yours.
Well, that's just the mentality of our society today, man. Everybody says, if I can get something for free, I'm going to get it. And that's the problem. It's not about respect of a person or property. It's just people feel like I can get over on somebody else.
But then when you fuck them up and you whoop their ass, now they want to take you to jail.
Oh, yeah. They want to cry victim then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now
I didn't know. I didn't know. I said, I bet you know now, won't you? You can never say that again, can you?
You damn know. You damn right. Get your nasty paws off my shit. It's not yours. You didn't pay for it, number one. I don't care if I left the car unlocked. It's not your vehicle. Stay out of it.
Yeah. Barkley said, "Good thing there." I was just watching a report about a lady that had one of those Apple AirTags in her luggage. And I guess this guy was stealing luggage from the airport where she flew in, and they was able to recover her luggage and everything else because they followed the Apple AirTag.
Say that one more time, Dre.
There's a lady who had a Apple AirTag, the little tracking device, and she had it on her luggage. And this will happen. This guy who was, I guess, he was stealing luggage from the airport on a regular basis, and the lady had the police follow the AirTag to this guy's house, and they busted him.
Good.
He had several thousands of dollars of people's stuff at his house. He had stole from the airport.
Holy crap! You know, now that you mentioned the little AirTag, I'm actually been thinking about buying a couple of those myself. I think I want to put one of those on my damn trailer, hide it somewhere, you know, in case some idiot want to go ahead and snatch my damn trailer again.
Yeah. I remember those. Used to have LoJack back in the day, and we used to have those locator things in our police vehicles.
Yeah,
and we've had found some stolen vehicles that had LoJack back in my day. Yep. I remember it was real.
Wait a minute, you had a couple of people steal the cop car?
No, you can have LoJack system installed in your car.
Okay.
And we had a couple of locators in our cop cars. So if somebody told us they had a stolen car, we verify it was stolen, and we could activate the locator, and it would take us to where the vehicle was at.
Okay.
And I know that was real big in construction. They would put those LoJacks on a lot of equipment, and that way they're able to recover their equipment.
Okay. Hey, we got Mr. DZ Dean FPV and Mr. Mudville Creative. Thank you for popping in. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Drunk typist. Okay.
Yeah, I think Gary's having a little F1 withdrawals. You know, Formula One's on the summer break, and he and I both are having withdrawals because I can't wait to get back to watch some racing.
Well,
I know it's getting late for you guys.
But hey, I'm assuming, Gary, that he wasn't able to recover that drone. That drone is completely lost because even Mike Night Train said that the cop couldn't even really do much. Really, not that much they could do.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty much lost.
They treat it like I said, they're going to treat it as any other car theft. They're not going. It's because it was a drone. They don't get all excited about it. It's just a regular car theft to them. Average everyday car theft. That's all it is to them. You know. And they said they'll ask you for the value of the drone, and and that's about it. And the iPad, they'll say, okay, thank you very much, and I'm sure Gary, if he had the serial number of the drone, I'm sure he can get it to him. You know, we all got the information somewhere, and you can give it to him. But same thing, it's not like you're gonna have somebody, driving, flying a drone in Newfoundland where the cops are gonna be able to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's a drone.
Yeah.
So the only thing he can depend upon is DJI locating it, and then see if the police want to follow up if the DJI can locate it. Because they got the whole shebang from him. They're gonna activate it. They're gonna fly it.
Correct.
No doubt. And
I mean, the drone is already activated. I mean, if you took the whole thing, you just have to charge the battery and put it up in the air. They'll be able to know where the drone is.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It'll be tracked through DJI, but the local police ain't not gonna get excited about it. Yeah.
And the drone laws in Canada are actually completely different than what we have here.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Gary is in Canada.
Yeah, Gary's in Canada. Yeah.
So, Dre, you have any work you're gonna be doing tomorrow, or you're just gonna be chilling like you did today, taking it easy?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling this weekend because I know I got a full. Next Friday I got to fly. Next Saturday I got to fly, and trying to think what else got to come up. I know I got 2 days for sure. I got to fly over the weekend next week. So, like I said, I try to manage my time between flying and also spending time with the family. So I try to balance it as best I can. I don't, and that's why I'm kind of glad that I am still working. So this does not have to be a full-time gig to where I got to hustle every day. People don't really understand. I think Ken Donald put out a video about a week ago about basically he was being very transparent about the money he's making, and it's good money. He's making
Yeah.
good money, but the effort he's putting in is what people are not really looking at. And I said he is hustling day in and day out, and even he is starting to learn that burnout can happen very quickly if you're not careful. And like I say, I'm still at that stage because I'm not forced to hustle as hard as he is. That I still enjoy it. I still want to go out and fly just for the pure joy of flying. But when you start to get burnt out, because like I say, Ken is burning the candle at not just each end, but a couple places in the middle. He's doing stuff he's doing stuff on Etsy. He's doing other things. He's doing his regular drone business and stuff. So he's doing a lot of stuff, and it's paying off for him. It's really paying off for him, and I give him props, big thumbs up for that. But like I say, he's still a young father. He's still got a family to look after, and sometimes it's not about how much money you make for your family, but sometimes it's about your time that you spend with your family. So like I said, and he is starting to see that, and I'm glad he's seeing that, and that he's taking time off to be, spend with his girls, especially the little one. I guess he's got one going off to college this year and everything. So those are precious moments, man. You can't get back with your kids, and even your relationship with your wife, that you got to spend a little time. That's why even last weekend I took my wife down to the little meetup with some folks in Temecula. First time she's ever been out to see me fly. I said, come on down here with me, spend some time with me.
Yeah,
and stuff. Like I said, my wife's a teacher, so she spends most of her weekend grading papers and doing lesson plans.
Okay.
So
hey, good night, Stephen Drone. See you later, buddy. Thank you for popping in, sir. Now, Gary went ahead and said that the cops went ahead and said they have a better chance of finding it than they do.
Yeah, because like I say, the cops are not going to be able to find it. They don't know nothing in the air. They have no tracking devices for it. So basically, they're trying to tell him going through DJI, Gary has a better chance of finding that drone if it pops up on DJI. And then he can get the information to them and say, hey, this drone showed up. Like I remember, it was about a couple of years ago, Al Diaz was talking about how he sold one of his drones to somebody, and next thing you know, it pops up off the coast of Africa where somebody crashed it into the ocean. Yeah, off the coast of Africa. But DJI was able to track it.
Correct. How you doing, Tom?
What's up there, Mr. Nevada man?
Doing good, Adrian. How are you, Dre?
Doing good, pretty good. Doing good.
Yeah. Hey, Dre.
Yes,
what's
sir.
that phallic symbol you have in front of you? Oh, that's your microphone. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, could you get a bigger microphone or what?
It just looks big. But that's what
what do you call that? Perspective, right?
That's there you go. Perspective. There you go. Get that close-up shot.
Adrian, how are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. Same old, just hanging in there. Family, taking it easy.
Good.
Working, paying bills. Same old. Just happy to be here.
Don't let him fool you, Tom. He's been out shopping.
Well, big time money, man. Come on.
Big time. He's been out big time shopping.
That's not true. Don't be telling no lie.
I tell no lies.
I don't want nobody to go down. I don't want nobody coming after me because I'm flying my drone after remote ID come in because I do carry. Don't come messing with me.
So you're going to spend some more money on Thursday with DJI or what?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Negative. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not going to buy that new drone? Come on now.
No, negative. I will leave that for you because I'm sure you're probably going to get it.
Dude, I'm a big boy with toys. What can I tell you?
Honestly, To me, I don't know, Tom. It just doesn't look appealing to me. No. I think I'm good with my FPV one. I don't think I want another
Watch,
one.
watch how it takes off. Watch how it takes. So this is so cyclic, right? We're all like, DJI sucks. Okay, look at this drone they just brought out. It's missing this. It's missing that. Next thing you know, it's the most popular thing on the market.
Yep.
Okay. Took you how long to come around to the FPV?
Yeah, you got a point.
Okay. Now you love that motion controller.
Yes, I do. That motion controller is freaking amazing. Matter of fact, I got my batteries charged up because I'm actually going to fly that thing with a motion controller tomorrow in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I did just buy a new toy last week, prodded by the wife. Actually, the wife was involved in this one. Bought a
Which is what would you care to share?
A Traxxas sledge, a 1/8 scale RC car, but basically it's a boulder basher.
Okay.
So I just equipped it with an action camera yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And I got my shot list to go out in the desert and drive this little maniac around. And of course, definitely going to get some drone shots of it. I got a couple of action cameras to put down on the ground and let it muscle its way around. So yeah, I'm just playing with toys these days. That's all. Living my best life.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised when you put a camera on that thing and then you just drive it around. You get some great shots with that time. I got like 7 or 8 RC vehicles myself. They're all nitro. I don't have any electric. They're all nitro.
Right.
I don't do electric. To me, I think electric is trash when it comes to remote control cars and trucks. I just like to run the gas through, park it, fill it up, keep going.
Well, this one I've had up to 70 miles an hour. And those aren't scale miles. Those are real miles.
Yeah, the fastest one I have is only 55.
Yeah.
And then I used to have one that goes 100 with the kit. It was the Schumacher .28 engine racing one that I actually got like back in 09. And I gave it to my oldest brother because he wanted it. I gave it to him. That one with the kit. And the only difference is that without the kit, it will actually run 80. But with the kit, it's just a different tire kit, and the tire happens to be a little bigger, and that gives it that extra, miles per hour. That thing was amazing.
This thing is a real basher. I've had this going off of bridges, and it's been 15 feet up in the air. Okay. Suspension on it is ridiculous. The thing is huge. Okay.
It's 1/8. It got to be huge.
Yeah, 1/8. It's big. It's big. So, and it cost me the price of an FPV, a DJI.
Okay.
FPV.
So I'm assuming that it weighs about a good 10, 15 pounds.
It's closer to 20 pounds. Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it like big tires or regular size tires?
Big knobby, heavy duty suspension.
Okay.
It's a 4-wheel drive. So
nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 6S from a battery standpoint. 10,000 milliamp.
I bet, Tom, that when you put that GoPro or that camera on it and then you start bashing around, you're gonna get some great freaking footage.
Well, it's funny. We had it out in a park not far from here, and they had just mowed the grass, and it was like a blanket. Okay. And then I shot this thing across this field. Man, I came home with most of that grass in the car. Okay. Man, she had grass flying everywhere. And then they had, like, on the side, this embankment, they had, it was all rock landscaping. But the rocks were like this big. Okay. This thing just climbed all over it like it was nothing.
If it has a bad suspension, it would just go right through it, no problem.
Oh man, it's a basher. It really is. Okay, I flipped this thing several times. The body is taking it. Did some mods to it already, but yeah, threw the action cam on, so I'm going to take it out into the desert on Monday. Okay, kids back in school, don't have to worry about anybody else out there, and put it through its paces and get some good footage. Good footage. It'll keep me editing for the next week. So
yeah, not just that. There's a lot of people that actually follow those videos.
there's a huge
So
RC
you'll be
yeah.
surprised. Don't be surprised if your sub count start coming out just because you're posting. You know what I mean? Those videos, people love them.
Yeah, I plan to get some great stuff with this. I mean, this thing we can take everywhere with us. But yeah, it's the wife loves it. I let the wife drive it. She only wants to drive it in training mode, so it'll only go up to like 35 miles an hour in training mode. But I told her she can bang around hot and heavy at 35 miles an hour on rocks. What are you, crazy? I said, crossing, rock climbing, these things are really, you should only be doing like 5 to 10 miles an hour over some of these rocks. But
Right.
she's enjoying the heck out of it. It's hard to track, though. I got to say, I'll get a little better at it. But trying to track it with the DJI, with the Mini 3 Pro, has been a bit difficult. So what I got to do is I got to get it out on the desert floor where I have no possibility of obstructions at about a 6-7 foot level,
Mm-hmm.
and then stay nice and low and try to do an active track that way. Now it's weird. If I'm about 20 feet up, she won't active track it because it doesn't recognize it as a vehicle. But if I come down to about 10 feet, it sees it as a target, as a vehicle target.
Yeah.
Then it will track it. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit of practice trying to keep that thing in frame.
Okay. Question that has nothing to do with this, Tom. TSD, what does it stand for? Right behind you.
TSD.
Right behind you.
Yeah, so that was Technical Services Division, but actually
Technical or tactical?
No, technical.
Okay.
Technical Services Division, an entity I commanded in the fire department, also happens to be my initials of my name, Thomas S. Dowling.
Okay.
Okay.
And then so then the last bureau I was deputy bureau chief in was Bureau of Technology Development and Systems. So I kept those initials, this time TDS, around. And that, of course, that's Tom Dowling Studios, right?
I hear you. Now, if I'm not mistaken, right next to the TSD, is that the symbol like the fire?
Oh, that's a Maltese cross. Yeah, that's
okay.
typical. That's on like every piece of fire gear. And so I have a T-shirt collection. That. So you'll see.
There you go. Okay.
Right there.
Fire Department New York unit. Okay.
Yeah, photo unit. So the Maltese cross is on everything.
Okay. Now, Tom, do you own any Autel Evo drones or just the DJI?
No, I'm a DJI fanboy. Sorry, Max.
DJI fanboy. Okay.
DJI sucks, but no, I'm a DJI fanboy.
Okay.
I've had no reason to go the Autel route.
I don't think I've asked you this before. So you have the FPV. Well, what other DJI drone do you have?
Okay, an original Mavic.
The Mavic Air 1. Okay.
The original Mavic, a Phantom 4 Pro, a Mavic 2 Pro, a Mavic Air, a Mavic, and the Mini 3 Pro.
Okay.
DJI FPV. And I'm probably going to let loose with some change on Thursday and pick up the Avata. I just got to see what it's all about.
So the Mini 3 Pro is like one of your newest one that you just got recently.
Yeah. Well, I got that on the release day.
Is that with the RC Pro that you got it as well?
I got it with the DJI RC.
With a
Okay.
standard remote control.
No, I bought it.
With the
one with
RC,
the screen.
oh, the actual smart one. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, not the N1, the RC.
Okay.
I have a Crystal Sky, ultra bright 2000 nit. Just let me know, Dre, if you're interested in a backup Crystal Sky ultra bright. Let me know, man. It's just gathering dust.
I hear you.
I have a couple of other high brightness monitors. Okay. And then I have cameras. I'm been a Nikon shooting pro for close to 40 years. I have Z mount cameras, so I have Nikon Pro mirrorless and Nikon D850 SLR. I've owned a D3, a D4, a D5 on the Nikon side, and that was. And I was one of the original adopters on a Nikon D1 when it first came out in 2001. So, been with in digital photography from the early days. Actually, I used to coach hockey and used to play hockey. And when I was coaching hockey, I was also trying to figure out stuff for the kids and all. And I bought this Sony Mavica camera. It was a square body camera, and it took a 3.5-inch floppy disk. And with that, I could get 25, I believe it was 25 shots on that. They would be 800 by 600 pixels shots. And then what I would do with those shots, I would turn around, I would take shots of the kids on the hockey team, and then I'd turn around and I'd make ceramic mugs with their picture on one side. And on the other side was their jersey with their jersey number on it. So I gave that away to all the kids on my team because I was into screen printing.
What's the number one?
That. And then that was a little business that wound up taking off without me even trying to get started. Before I knew it, I had orders for all 26 teams in the league. And doing that. So, I'm kept busy. One thing, if anybody knows anybody in the fire department, it's one of the best full-time, part-time jobs on the planet. So you always have a side gig.
Well, I just goes back. I was telling Adrian about, starting off, like you said, Tom did something as a favor for a team. Word gets out. Next thing you know, you got something going on and people are throwing money at you.
Yeah, just make sure the money covers, it's too easy to get yourself wrapped up into doing things for the cost of goods. And you very quickly realize that the cost of goods isn't covering your cost of services or that effort that you put into it, right? And never get sold short. I mean, I did professional photography for weddings for close to 20 years. The first 5 years as a single shooter. And then I realized there was no way I was going to stay alive on this planet shooting weddings all by myself. And I brought the business to another level, always had a second shooter. And then my wife was our photo assistant. And I actually raised my prices. I actually quadrupled my asking fee. And my business actually went up as a result.
Yeah.
But you gotta factor everything in. I mean, to shoot a wedding, I had to have insurance. I had to be part of a professional organization, the PPA, which I still am a member of. And you have to deal with bridezillas and moms of bridezillas. So there's an effort there. Then the best job in a wedding is a second shooter because you can shoot the wedding and leave afterwards. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy who afterwards has to go through 3,000 images.
Right.
And meet the expectations of the couple. Okay? So you better price your services correctly. And then trying to get suckered by people all the time, like, hey, I got a lot of business behind this, so give me your best price. Well, my best price is going to be an honest price, and you can expect to pay that price on your future work as well. And that's how you should approach it. Now, of course, there'll be others who undercut you. You can't compete with them. Okay? People who go for the lowest price are not loyal customers. Okay?
Yeah.
Your loyal customers can make up a large percentage of your business if you play it smart. And it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to get a return customer than it is to attract a new customer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, what we did was we realized we wanted to get out of the wedding business because it's taxing. It really is taxing. Okay? And you got to deliver images before the couple divorces. Okay? Some of these couples, you got to make sure they stay together long enough for you to deliver their album or their product. We moved from that. I turned around and saw an opportunity and went and studied under a world-renowned boudoir and lingerie photographer, Kate Eskridge, out of the Phoenix area. And we started a little business, the wife and I, where it was called Girls Night Out. And what it was think of a Tupperware party for photography. Okay. Back in New York, I had a finished basement, aka man cave, that rivaled most Irish pubs in the area. And if you know anything about New York, Irish pubs are the thing. So I had a bar down there with a pool table, nice setup, a lot of neon, a big flat screen TV, and then I had a studio upstairs. And what would happen is one woman would bring over 4 of her girlfriends and a bottle of wine, and we give them a little intro into our business down in the, finished basement in the bar. And they would pay $50 each. And our whole tagline was, most women hate to be photographed because most women haven't been photographed professionally.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the difference. And we're going to show you what that difference means by a $50 girls' night out each, right? 5 women. You're going to get studio time. You're going to get about 15, 20 minutes worth of studio time under professional direction. And you're going to get a free 8x10 image in a gift box sent to you 1 week later that by the way, you picked from the website. So there'll be 5 finished images up on the site. And then, of course, you can order other images too. Okay. And then the woman who was the hostess that night, who brought the other women there, she got to come back for a free mini diva session that she had to book and schedule within a 60-day period. And what we would do is on Tuesday and Thursday nights, we would do the girls' nights out. And on Saturdays, we would do the diva sessions. And on the diva session, she would schedule that. I would give that a $295 value. But then I would also credit her the $50 from that evening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she'd get a session, but it wouldn't provide much product. So, of course, she'd get an email 2 weeks before that told her how to prepare. If she wanted a makeup artist there to prep her, she could. There was an add-on charge of this. If she wanted the makeup artist there for the entire session, it was a slight increase above that. And then there was a whole photo package. So we had about a 70% upsell rate on those mini diva sessions. And out of those mini diva sessions, we wound up getting other work like maternity shots or engagement shots.
Mm-hmm.
But we referred all our wedding business elsewhere to other friends. But what was great was we would show the 5 women a quick video, and then they would play a quick game of chance with dice to figure out who was going up in the studio first, because they were all a nervous wreck. So it's the first girl who goes up there, right? My wife was the wrangler. But while the first girl was upstairs, the other 4 women could watch her in the studio on the big flat screen TV. So they could see the whole session going on.
Yeah.
And I had a little alarm bell that would go off after 20 minutes upstairs, and they would all say the same thing. Oh, no, it's over so soon. So always leave them wanting just a little bit more, right?
Yep.
So that was a great business. And I got to tell you, photographing women, and the girls' night out wasn't risque or anything. They came in jeans and heels, and however they wanted to dress for a girls' night out. Of course, the diva sessions could. There were several levels of diva sessions, and they could get as uh, artful as they wanted to.
I'll be right back, Tom. Keep going. I'll be right back.
But the wife was always there, so she kept that comfort level with the female clientele where it needed to be. Okay. And it was, the whole key was not to overdo it in post-production. You want to make these women look as beautiful as you can, but you want to keep them looking like them.
Right.
Okay. A woman will see an over-processed image of themselves and go, "Oh, I look fantastic." But their girlfriends will turn around and go, "Yeah, but that's not you." Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you deliver, okay, a professional product that stands up. And we did good with that. I mean, that was a great little operation we had going. We retired it a few years ago when we were making the decision to move out here.
Yeah.
We downscaled a bit on our square footage here. So it's something we enjoyed doing. We made some great money off of it. Helped to pay a lot of bills. We worked out of the house, so that was another added advantage. We got to take a portion of the studio was a write-off.
Yeah.
And a portion of the other space was including utilities.
Right.
Okay. Fiber gigabit connection and all of that.
Yeah.
Got to thank Uncle Sam. And Dre yourself, small business incentive, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's, you get to depreciate those assets very quickly.
Yeah.
So B&H Photo and Video and I had a great relationship.
Yeah. Well, that's a great story, Tom. That's why I tell guys, no matter what you do, do something that you're interested in doing. That way, it doesn't seem like work, even though you put in a lot of time, a lot of hours. So you it's almost like a passion more than it is work, and you want to produce a good product. And like I say, I always tell people, I say, especially in the drone business, you don't have to make a killing on every job you do.
You got to be fair.
Be fair and be consistent
and deliver.
Yes, yeah, deliver. And that's what I was telling you guys. That's what I told you guys earlier about, even when I do like a one-off job, like I said, once the drone's in the air, if I shoot an extra 10, 15 shots, so what? I'm giving you more of a choice. The drone's already up in the air. You've already paid me.
That's that value add, right? That's that going the extra step.
Right.
So, and that's, we always try to make our clients feel as comfortable as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Now the great thing is I've had the opportunity to work across a very diverse spectrum of assignments. From and it's not even on the public safety side. I mean, did a lot of photography on that side as well. But I was a wildlife photographer for a while. Okay. And in fact, still get royalties on some image work and things. And I've been on photo assignments across a wide spectrum of print media as well. I got a tear sheet album that actually takes up one of those large Rubbermaid containers, and worked with some of the best like Scott Kelby and Matt Kolskowski, and the list goes on and on. But I feel privileged, actually. And the great thing about photography, and it carries over into, this is why I seamlessly embraced and moved into the drone or the UAS environment, was because that UAS to me is a tripod.
Right.
It's a camera platform. But the thing I want to really emphasize is what photography does for me is it allows me to share those split seconds of experiences I have.
Mhm.
Okay, because when I'm looking through that viewfinder, that's what I'm looking to share. And
Right.
and remember, folks, your eye is unique to everybody else's. Don't if they'll say imitation is the best flattery. Well, you know what? Try to imitate everyone you've come across all at the same time, and that
Right.
becomes you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I always say, take the best of everybody you've been around and make it your own.
Yeah. Take it all in. Take it all
Yeah.
in. Okay.
Yeah.
And your experiences are unique.
Yes.
That's what I love sharing. Okay.
Mhm.
Those that I might not follow me up on Facebook, I'm in several groups. I share a lot of photo work up there.
Mhm.
But it's only a fraction of what I have, and of course, some community rules won't allow me to share all the photography I've done throughout my career.
Right.
But it's been an interesting opportunity, and I've been fortunate to influence a few people, in the photo community as well, which has been a great thing, a great feeling is to know that you've inspired somebody. And I have a couple of friends, and in fact, kids I coached in hockey that have gone on to do some great things. And one of them is a major sports photographer, and it's great to come across his work on a regular basis and see the uniqueness of it. And that's what I love about this community too, is the amount of sharing that people do and willing to share their work. And the other thing I like about the community is that I'll let me be honest. I'll say 92% of this community is supportive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we just have to rail against the other 8%. Okay.
Yeah.
But 92% of this community, I would say, is very supportive. And also they seem to all share a unique sense of humor too, which I enjoy.
It's like a big frat club.
Hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming back, Adrian. We're about to shut the show down.
Say that one more time.
I said, thanks for coming back. We're about to shut the show down.
Come on now, you're going to break midnight soon on the East Coast there.
Well, I had to go ahead and make sure that everything was okay. I kind of heard a little bit of noise.
Oh,
out there. I just wanted to make sure that.
Kids,
huh?
I thought with kids, if you don't hear any noise, there's the problem. That's what I remember.
Yeah. As you got to check on them.
One is asleep, but the other one is here with me. But I don't mean that. Everything was quiet, but then I heard a little bit of noise, and I found that it was my daughter. She's a wild sleeper, so she hit the wall. I thought it was somebody outside trying to, do some shit. So I got one of my, handy dandy toys that happens to, shoot if you hit that trigger just to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 2 hours. Right now, it's been a little over 2 hours and 18 minutes. Dre, I think it's past your bedtime since you're only going to sleep around this time. So
that's right.
It's been a great show. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Tom, thank you for coming in.
Anytime.
Dre, as usual, thank you for being here. Brother Dre, thank you for the info. Great show. Dude. But it's going to be a wrap for now. Great being here. Great show.
All right.
Tom, any last word before you leave, buddy?
Just be safe, everybody. Have a good time. And when we get back together next week, let's find out how many pulled the trigger on that DJI Avata. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Remember, that works with your motion controller and it works with your goggles. You just got to save up enough coin for the business end of that. Okay?
Okay,
Yep.
well, yeah. What about you, Dr. Dre? Any last words, sir?
Oh, I'm with Tommy. Everybody be safe. Take care of one another. And hopefully we'll see you guys back here next week.
Yes, sir. God willing. Good night, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I'll see
Peace
you
and love.
guys on the next one.
All right. Later.